rather than switching off to a different lens to do a full body shot, I just backed off. Remember, like, even when you're shooting with a prime lens, everything can be a zoom if you use those little things at the ends of your legs called feet and go in and out. And I will do that a lot. It's like, as I'm doing this, it's so much faster for me just to back off and get that full frame look or the full length look like that. And I try to make sure that I always cover things both ways. If you're, you know, whatever the work you're doing, myself as a magazine photographer, I've never ever once had an editor complain that I gave them too many options. It's like they always want more options. Say, for instance, I went in with the mindset I'm going to do really tight portraits, and they come up with another story that runs right after that with another tight portrait. They would love the option of a wide shot like this. And you know, sometimes if they like something well enough, it bumps up to the cover. They want to come back with a different image inside. So remembering that scale, as well as thinking of that in terms of if you're putting together a wedding album or even your own website, having a difference in scale where everything's not shot at the same distance. You know, having that variety. Also, like, one of the things to think of too is, like, with a fixed lens, the variety that you can come up with a single focal length. I think sometimes we have so many lenses to pick from that you can't decide. Sometimes limiting yourself, walking around one day with one focal length. So this was on the island of Espírito Santo in Vanuatu, which was the island where James Michener was stationed when he wrote Tales of the South Pacific. It's an island that stayed relatively unchanged over the time, and I just loved the faces of the people. So we were walking down the road, and I saw a group of people walking with their firewood for the night. I saw this woman, I thought she'd make a great photo subject. Pulled the car over, explained I was a photographer and I'd love to take a portrait of her, and she said, well, okay, you can take my picture as long as you include my husband in the shot too. So she essentially made the picture that much better because she had the idea. It's like, let's get in there together. And it's like we shot this, we just had them standing in the middle of the road. This is the 35mm lens. This is actually shot with the RX1, which has a fixed 35 f2 Zeiss lens on it. So it's like locking that down and just shooting with a wide angle lens, shallow depth of field. But bringing this out where I looked at this picture afterwards and it's sort of like the South Pacific version of American Gothic. You know, so sometimes your subjects have really good ideas and run with that. Meanwhile, we did this picture and I was down by the side of the water and I saw this guy with fishing nets. I think they probably recovered that. He was walking around with the net. I thought that was really cool. So I was doing portraits of him, and his friend came up to kind of check out the nets. And it's like you're looking for that little moment. Like even though I'm not doing reportage, even though I'm a portrait photographer, pay attention to what's really happening in front of you. Because sometimes like that makes the shot. And then this portrait also, that's a really, really close shot with the 35mm, but it's kind of cool. It's like sometimes that different perspective, that really, really, you know, close, intimate look. And the fun thing on this island is so unjaded that this man had never seen a digital image of himself. So I just had walked up and held the camera up and, you know, could I take your picture? And he smiled. And I did these pictures and I'd shoot a few and then I'd turn the camera back around so he could see the LCD. And he was literally like bouncing on his toes when he saw his image because he could see, you know, he could see this beautiful face that I wanted to photograph. So a lot of times when I see people like that, if they ask why I want to photograph, it's because you've got a great face. So, and he certainly did.
Be sure to subscribe now to stay updated on my show, and we'll give you tips and insight to keep advancing your photography. Also, check out our guests' website for a closer look at their work. Tune in to our next episode of Advancing Your Photography for an inside look at another photographer's world. Until then, this is Marc Silber reminding you to get out and capture your own images of life.